If these ancient walls could talk, they would speak of thousands of years of conquests and kings. Well now, thanks to the latest technology, they finally can. In an all-new light show, the story of one of the world's most famous kings comes to life, David. What better place to tell the story of a biblical king than right here at the Tower of David Museum, an ancient citadel located at the western edge of the Old City in Jerusalem.
My choice was to make a show about King David that the main line is art. That means to make a traveling into the most famous artistic depictions through the ages.
Though the museum is named after him, King David is not connected to the citadel. In fact, he lived 1,000 years before any part of it was built. Even so, David's story, from boy shepherd to hero to king of Israel and Judea, has captured the imagination of people everywhere. And he's become a powerful symbol for Jerusalem, a city that's holy to the world's 3 Abrahamic religions.
King David was the king who established the city as the capital of the Jewish people. He was, of course, a warrior, but also a musician. And he was the most popular character in the history of art.
Using cutting-edge technology, King David depicts the king's mythical life, from the moment his great-grandmother Ruth the Moabite arrives in Bethlehem, to his defeat of the giant Goliath, to his reign in Jerusalem. And it's unlike anything that's ever been seen in Israel before.
Both the software is new and the projector is a new technology altogether. This is one of the first places in the world using it.
The show is a collaboration between the UK, France, and Israel, and it took a team of designers and technicians a year to produce. King David, a magical experience, light years ahead of the rest.
All right, Amaya Margit is here. First of all, great piece, and I love this museum. They do so much great work, but I can't even help but capture, like, the last shot. It's like something so ancient looking, and then here we are today in Jerusalem with this technology that King David, I'm sure, didn't dream of all those thousands of years ago.
They love combining new technology, the latest and most cutting-edge technology, with ancient biblical stories, because the site itself is very old. It's thousands of years old, even though it's not really connected to King David. It's named the Tower of David, but King David, if he did exist, if he lived, it's a mythological figure. He lived 1,000 years before this was ever constructed. It was built in part by King Herod, actually.
Okay.
But it's named after King David, so they felt like he was a perfect symbol for the city of Jerusalem. The technology itself is from this projection company called Digital Projection in the UK. You know, the projectors, they can use those projectors for 20,000 hours. They're environmentally friendly, so they're hoping that they're going to keep the show on for the next 10 years, a really long time, because they basically invested about $2 million into this show. It's a huge project with a big team of designers, technicians, and they just wanted to make it as spectacular as possible.
Just for this show.
Right, just for this show.
Much money. Now, is it a technology that, you know, that could be, you know, used, and is it specific, kind of, not patented isn't the right word, like for this production, or is it a technology that could be used, you know, in other venues?
They do use laser projectors in other parts of the world. There are light festivals in other parts of the world. In Israel, this is the biggest light festival of its kind. It's the biggest single installation of laser projectors. Before this, they were using lamp-based projectors, which is a much more older, more analog kind of technology. And so this is why this looks super high definition. It's 30 million pixels or so.
Wow.
It's very high definition.
So what is the crux of the, you know, of the show? Is it like just visually a lot of things kind of popping at you, or does it actually tell a story of his life?
It's a story of his life. There is a focus on art. They take a lot of depictions of King David in art, Ethiopian art, Syrian art, Western art, like, you know, all the biggest artists and names. King David was one of the most popular figures for artists throughout the centuries. Very kind of a figure who captured the imagination of people and who kind of strengthens the connection between the Jewish people and Jerusalem, and this is part of the reason they decided to focus on him.
It's so fascinating. All right, fascinating. I have to go see this.
Definitely go check it out.
It's beautiful, and this is all projected. It looks like you could touch it.
It's very hard to see on the screen, by the way. In real life, it's even more impressive.
Okay.
And it's starting on April 1st.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Maya.
Sure.
Good reports. All right, the forces.